let's unpack this. Imagine a place, right? Known globally for really vibrant tourism. The classic sun and beach destination that pulls in millions. But what if I told you that same place is also a benchmark for sustainability and really cutting-edge urban planning? Today, we're taking a deep dive into Benidorm. It's a city in Spain's Valencian community, and it's genuinely reinventing that whole narrative. Our mission, really, is to figure out how Benidorm actually balances this high-volume tourism with a pretty ambitious sustainability agenda. We'll look at, its unique model, general data, its biodiversity, which is fascinating, and its plans for the future.
Yeah, and what's truly fascinating, I think, is how Benidorm isn't held back by its compact, high-density model. It actually leverages it, uses that very structure for, well, remarkable efficiency. We'll explore how they've really systematically embedded sustainability deep into their DNA. It's not just a buzzword for them. It's a deeply integrated strategy.
Integrated, okay.
And you can see the results. Benidorm was actually designated the first smart tourism destination, DTI, in the world, certified under that tough UNE 178501 standard way back in 2018. And looking forward, it's already been picked out as a European Green Pioneer of Smart Tourism for 2025. That kind of consistent recognition, it really shows something's working.
That's definitely an impressive start. So what is it then? What makes Benidorm's approach so, well, distinctive? Where did this all begin?
It genuinely starts with its basic urban model. So it's an Alicante province, region of Valencia. And Benidorm pioneered this compact city idea, going vertical way back. We're talking its 1956 General Urban Planning Plan.
1856.
Yeah. And it wasn't just about looks or convenience. It was quite visionary, actually. It optimized land use massively, reduced per capita resource consumption, energy, water, and it naturally promoted walking and cycling, just easier to get around. The key takeaway is that this high-density vertical model, which often gets criticized, right?
Yeah.
It can actually drive sustainability. It builds in efficiency.
That really flips the script on how you might think about density. So what does it look like today, size-wise?
Sure. So the city itself is about 38.5 square kilometers. The official population, as of 2024, is around 74,500. Gives it a density of roughly 1,900 inhabitants per square kilometer. But, and this is where the smart part really comes in, that official number. It's only part of the picture.
Right, because of all the tourists.
Exactly. A study in 2023 found the city actually hosts an average of 252,000 people per day. And Benidorm doesn't ignore this. They actively adjust their data to reflect this real carrying capacity.
Okay, that makes sense.
Which means they get far more accurate numbers for things like waste, water use, electricity. It allows for genuinely informed planning, real-time resource management. It's very data-driven governance based on reality.
That real numbers approach must make a huge difference. And this DTI framework you mentioned, built on core pillars.
That's right. 5 main pillars: governance, sustainability, accessibility, innovation, and technology. It's comprehensive. And what's really impressive is their leadership in the wider DTI networks. The Valencia one has 111 destinations, the national one over 450 members. Benidorm's often pioneering the methods. It creates this kind of X-ray view of each place, allowing for yearly actions, operational plans, constant improvement.
And how do they manage all that coordination?
A big part of it is the public-private collaboration through the Visit Benidorm Foundation, set up in 2010. It's actually 52% private, 48% public. So real buy-in from both sides. And this foundation, it's certified in competitive intelligence, and it runs their strategic plans, like the current #Rito 2024, which puts a massive focus on sustainability and, crucially, deseasonalization.
Deseasonalization, so spreading tourism out across the year.
Exactly. Reduce the pressure in peak season, keep the local economy going year-round. It's smart economics and sustainability.
That's a really solid data-driven foundation. Amazing for a city with that many visitors. But here's where, for me, it gets really interesting. Benidorm isn't just clever planning in concrete, is it? It's deeply connected with significant natural spaces. This seems key to their green Benidorm and blue tourism ideas.
Absolutely. It's a core part.
I mean, you wouldn't necessarily expect it, but over 61% of its municipal area is actually protected land.
61%. It's huge.
Yeah. And this includes 5 Natura 2000 sites. That's Europe's big network for protecting valuable habitats and species, right? Plus 3 national and 2 local biodiversity sites within its boundaries. And the big one, obviously, is the Serra Gelada Natural Park. That's massive, over 5,600 hectares total.
Mostly marine, actually, about 4,900 hectares marine, 745 land.
Right. And that park, plus the special protection area for birds there, it's been protected since 2005, part of Natura 2000.
Which leads to the crucial question. What exactly are they protecting in there? And, why is it so important? Well, the Gelada Natural Park is just packed with ecological value. Within that marine part, you've got these huge meadows of Posidonia oceanica seagrass.
Cosidonia, okay. I've heard of that.
Yeah, they call them underwater forests. And for good reason. They're absolutely vital. Shelter, food for countless marine species. But get this, they produce 5 times more oxygen than the Amazon rainforest.
Wait, really? 5 times?
5 times. And home to something like 4,000 plant and 700 animal species. It kind of challenges our whole idea of where the planet's green lungs are, doesn't it? It's not just on land.
No kidding. That's wow.
And they're critical for coastal protection, too. Stabilize the seabed, stop erosion. Benidorm actively monitors about 173 hectares of these meadows. And the good news is they're generally in good shape, showing positive growth, maybe 1 to 3 centimeters a year. It's a great example of integrating blue and green sustainability.
5 times the oxygen? That just puts its importance on a global scale. But it makes me wonder, with such a vital, probably fragile ecosystem right there, what about the pressures from all that tourism? How do they manage the risks?
That's a really good question. It's the core challenge, isn't it?
Yeah.
But the DTI framework and these protected designations, they're designed to manage exactly that.
Yeah.
So beyond the Posidonia, you've got the cliffs and rocky coastlines, also vital habitats, especially for seabirds. We're talking species like Audouin's gull, the European shag, both endangered, both relying on these specific spots.
So protecting the land protects the birds.
Exactly. And even the open water off the coast is important. It's home to protected species like bottlenose and common dolphins. And it's not just Gelada. There are other big Natura 2000 sites nearby, like Litoral de la Marina Baixa, Itana, Sorella y Puy Campana, huge areas highlighting the region's biodiversity.
Okay.
Plus, the city itself uses green corridors. Things like Liguera Park, natural ravines like El Jico. These connect the urban areas with the natural ones, helping wildlife move, supporting biodiversity within the city footprint. And they're proactive on invasive species, too, working with partners on management programs. It's a pretty holistic approach.
Okay, so the theory, the strategy, the protection, it all sounds great. But how does it translate into, actual actions on the ground? Benidorm apparently has some impressive good practices. Can you give us some examples? What are they actually doing?
Sure. Well, one key thing is their renaturalization plan. Focuses on restoring spaces, improving ecological links. A really nice example is how they recovered 171 organic vegetable gardens from old, unused municipal plots.
Oh, that's clever.
Yeah. Restores green space, but also empowers residents, right? Grow your own food, builds community, promotes local sustainable food right in the city.
That's a great way to integrate green space and get people involved. And you mentioned green corridors. I know they've done a lot there.
They really have. The development of green corridors is another big one. There's this concept of a blue-green belt, connecting the city center with the natural areas around it, creating pathways for nature. And then there's the El Morlaix Green Circuit. Yeah. Huge area, 1 million square meters. It's had massive restoration cleanups, planting native species, new green paths. It actually got a 2025 Blue Trail flag for the work. Really high vegetation density there now.
Impressive.
And another really inspiring one is regenerating brownfield sites, like the old Rocco de l'Infern quarry. Used to be an extraction site. Now it's being turned back into a natural space. They've planted over 2,500 trees, 3,600 shrubs there already. And the estimated key euros capture from just that one project, almost 1,800 tons over 40 years.
Wow, turning a quarry into a carbon sink, that's powerful. But how do they get the community behind all this? It can't just be the council doing things, right? How do they build that sense of stewardship?
Exactly. And that community engagement piece is critical. It's not just top-down. They have a neighborhood council made up of local groups involved in conservation decisions. They also run educational workshops, cleanup days. You get young volunteers helping out in El Morlaix Park, for instance, or seabed cleaning drives with partners like the Mundamar Foundation. Even school kids visit the Regenerated Quarry Project to learn about it. That kind of public involvement is key for the long run.
Makes sense. Get people invested.
Yeah, and communication is vital too. Awareness campaigns through the council website, info materials for residents and tourists about why preserving nature matters there. Benidorm's also plugged into EU initiatives like the Restore Our Ocean and Waters mission. They're doing things like putting reclaimed water back into natural ravines, contributing to those bigger ecological goals. And just to reassure you, the listener, Benidorm isn't currently facing any infringement issues related to EU birds and habitats rules. They're actively following the regulations.
It really feels like Benidorm is showing that being a major tourist hub doesn't have to mean sacrificing sustainability, maybe even the opposite, that they can be integrated. So Stepping back, what does this mean for sustainability as a whole picture there?
Well, connecting it all, Benidorm really pushes this holistic three-dimensional view. Environmental, social, and economic all tackled together. Environmentally, the stats are pretty strong. Over 95% efficiency in drinking water management that's among the best in Spain.
How do they manage that?
Smart metering, leak detection, but also effective campaigns to change behavior. It works. They've cut water consumption by 18% in 25 years, even with 40% population growth and 26% more tourists. That's significant. And their reclaimed water reuse rate is 36%.
Okay. And mobility?
Mobility, over 70% of trips within the city are on foot. That's a direct result of the compact design. Plus, they have over 134 kilometers of cycling lanes now. And their climate change plan is already over 40% implemented.
On the social and economic sides.
Socially, big commitment to inclusive tourism. Universal accessibility on beaches, public spaces, promoting gender equality, diversity programs. Economically, it's about that smart regenerative tourism idea. Diversifying away from just sun and beach, bringing in digital nomads, sports tourism, conferences, things that reduce that seasonality issue and boost the local economy year-round.
It really sounds like they're playing the long game, constantly evolving. So what's next? What does the future look like for Benidorm's sustainability journey?
Oh, their future plans are definitely ambitious. And they line up closely with big European strategies, like the EU Biodiversity Strategy, the Habitats Directive. For 2030 and 2050, the goals are clear: enhance green spaces even more, boost biodiversity further, restore more brownfield sites. Their Urban Agenda 2030 and the Renaturalization Plan details specific actions, things like expanding that blue-green belt, more green infrastructure, creating parks designed to handle floodwater, putting solar panels on city buildings, more bike lanes.
So continuing what works and scaling it up.
Pretty much. And there's this big project called VIBEN, stands for Green and Water, rooting Benidorm in its natural environment. It's got support from the next generation EU funds, those big European recovery pots.
Ah, okay. Big investment then.
Yeah. It includes creating a large green belt connecting nature and the city, a new network for reclaimed water specifically for ecological uses, microparks, even an oasis nursery. And Benidorm is also planning to join the Green City Accord, which is another commitment to EU environmental goals. It's definitely a continuous push.
So we've journeyed through Benidorm's really impressive commitment to sustainable development, from that pioneering DTI strategy and the unique compact city model, right through to protecting vital ecosystems like Serra Gelada and those amazing Posidonia meadows. It's pretty clear they're thinking big, really integrating the economy with environmental and social care.
Which really raises, I think, an important question for all of us listening. If a city like Benidorm, a major international tourist destination, with all the pressures it involves, can so effectively blend economic success with genuine environmental and social sustainability, with clear results, community buy-in. What does that tell us about the potential for these smart and green solutions in other complex cities, other tourist hotspots around the world?
That is a powerful thought to ponder. Thank you for diving deep with us today.